Okay, I'm going to show you a couple of the little tricks of the trade here in the VGL that will help you as you are working to solve these problems and ultimately to have to write it up. So I'm going to start with opening a new problem, a level 2 problem, which is the lowest level, which if you remember from the handout, you'll see is a problem that involves only simple dominance, autosomal, no sex linkage. So here's our wild population. As you know, you can cross two flies, say I cross two shorts, and I get that. Say I cross two zigzags and get this. All right, so say I cross one of these with one of these, and I'm getting that. Say I wanted to summarize the result of a couple different of the same crosses. I can use a feature on here which allows me to combine cages and show you if you just wanted to add up all of the flies from these three cages. If I double click inside the offspring area here, you notice how you get a red line around that cage. If I come down here to this cage and double click this one, say I double click this one as well. Now I have three cages selected. Under the utilities, I can create a summary chart, which is going to show that in those three cages in total, if I do it now by sex, there are 63 short antenna, 25 zigzag antenna. If I also want to just do it by gender as well, I have that many, 33 male short antenna, 30 female. Right? So if you're trying to look for ratios like a 3-to-1 ratio or 50-50, you want to combine the results from more than one table, this is a great way to do that. So again, that was the summary chart, which was under the utilities, right? And it was create summary chart. So I'm going to close that right now. If you want to unselect any one of these cages, just double click inside where the offspring are, and it'll take that red line away. Another nice thing is that it will help you to sort of keep track of what's going on. There's something here under the utilities that is called Show the Model Builder. So I click on this. You can open up a window that because it knows it's a level 2 problem, it's going to give you some, as you're sort of solving the problem, it allows you to sort of enter in what you've figured out. So sex linkage. In this problem, because level 2 is not sex linked, there's no option other than not sex linked. Number of alleles. Level 2 problem only has 2 alleles possible, so you only have to select that. So now mode of inheritance, it's got to be simple dominance because that's all that's going on in a level 2 problem. So now it asks you which is dominant over which. If you have figured out that zigzag is dominant to short, you would put it in there like that. Mode of inheritance. Which one shows you that it is that is the simple dominance with zigzag being dominant to short? You could decide which cage shows that specifically, and then this is a nice window that you're going to have to screenshot to be able to put in your lab report. Again, that was under the utilities, show model builder. Now for a level 2 problem, it was pretty simple. So if I close this work though and open up a level 10 problem, for example. So I'm going to do a new problem, and I'm going to go into the VGL folder and do a level 10 problem. Right off the bat, you see there's 4 different phenotypes, so this has got a lot more going on. I'm not going to do any of the crosses here, but I am going to show you if I go under the utilities and show the model builder now, right, it's going to be a little bit more complicated. Sex linkage, well, in a level 10 problem, it could be not sex linked, it could be XXXY sex linkage, or it could be ZZZW sex linkage. So once you've determined which of these sex linkages is going on, you would select the one model that you think is true. Number of alleles, you notice that instead it's not just 2 alleles now, it could be either 2 or a 3 allele problem. So you will have to determine which of these it is. Now with 2 alleles, there's no way we would get 4 different phenotypes, so this one has to be a 3 allele problem. And now notice also under mode of inheritance, you have 3 different options. That it could be incomplete dominance, circular dominance, or hierarchical. If it is incomplete dominance, right, it's going to open up a little area that looks like this. It says, oh, wow, which of these is the pure breeding? So maybe I've determined that gray is pure breeding, and so is yellow, and that when gray and yellow combine, they give you the red. And then yellow combined with blue gives you the black. And gray and blue combine to give you the green, right? So that's if you thought it was incomplete dominance. Notice if it's hierarchical dominance, you get a different option. And that's where you have one that is dominant to another, which is dominant to the third one. It's straight line, not like the rock, paper, scissors model, the circular dominance. You notice how they're showing that differently. So depending on what you've determined, you will select the model that best describes what you figured out. And you can indicate which cage in particular shows clearly what's going on. And again, this will be something you'll get a screenshot and include in your lab report as your sort of summary for what you have figured out. Also, it gives you a good number of items here that you need to address in your lab report. You need to talk about whether it's sex-linked, how many alleles and why you think it's 2 versus 3, what the mode of inheritance is, and then what the specific interactions are. So this is a great tool, the model builder, that you can use when you are starting to think you're ready to write the report. Again, there's a sample report posted on the portal, and we'll talk more about this in class as well.